Well, folks, it's about that time, and I got tagged in this one today. And it says, would you rather go through the Viltrumite Purge, or would you rather get experimented on by Vaughn? So, I'm guessing in this particular scenario that I'm not a Viltrumite. Let's just say I was. It would not matter, because even the best warriors got curb stomped in this Purge. God bless, I know I'm not one of the mighty few that would definitely survive. You gotta understand how ruthless you gotta be to survive a Viltrumite Purge. These guys wiped out half of their population. But who's trying to survive against this super being warrior race that can survive getting gutted? And I wouldn't mind being experimented on by Vaught if it means I get a cool superpower. Yeah, it can be extremely scuffed for you messing around with Compound V. Seems like they have more successes than failures when it comes down to making superpowered beings. I mean, shit, most parents in this world had their kids experimented on just so they could get ahead. I mean, I'd rather risk getting experimented on and getting godlike powers instead of straight trying to not get purged by my own species fighting for domination. Even if you have a lane power, you still have super strength and high durability. Definitely would pick Vaught. Well, folks, it's about that time, and I got tagged in this one today, and it says, what universe would you rather live in, The Boys or Invincible? I have read the comics, and I have watched both of these shows extensively, and let me tell you, I am picking The Boys. The world of The Boys, everyone believes they're safe because of their superhero saviors, and Vaught needs it to be that way. I make sure that everyone stays in favor of the public image of the superheroes, which is why crime isn't much of an issue in this world, which is why most criminals wouldn't challenge the Seven and most people love them. Worst of what happens in this world is always behind the scenes away from the public eye. Yes, they've gotten bad press from stupid shit the Seven has done, but this doesn't change anything. Most of the time, they would just cover it up or we would never know what really happened. And the public things that happen in The Boys, I can actually see happening in real life. Hell, Homelander killed somebody in broad daylight and they cheered for him, and I can definitely see this happening. You know how scary it is to wake up one day and see the world's greatest superhero beating the shit out of another superhero and killing people? Then having alien invasions where people are getting slaughtered every week. Then trying to live every day through these threats knowing that the greatest heroes who ever lived just died. We keep seeing the ones that are left getting the shit kicked out of them. I'm not living through this. Well, folks, it's about that time, and I got tagged in this one today, and it says, would you rather have Kip's job or work at the Daily Bugle without being Spider-Man? Man, I could never be in Kip's position because I don't know anyone who reasonably would. The man basically sleeps in a broom closet. Then his uniform is terrible as hell. You got me in a skirt with my thighs out. I'm definitely not doing this crazy shit Kip be doing for Zab. Imagine my duties on my 9 to 5 is waking up a grown-ass man from his slumber and helping him get dressed and ready for work. I don't see anywhere in my job description says I have to wash a grown man's back. And if he messing up, he just gonna pass the buck off to me and I'm taking the blame. And if he lose his job, I lose mine? Kip is basically this man's servant. Then he can just come into my room and eat my shit at any time. One of Kip's duties is to be an end table for Zap to write on. He uses Kip as a towel to wipe off his sweat. Man, Kip is a bitch. The Daily Bugle is like no other job. It's just a 9 to 5 working for a dick boss. Make your deadlines, keep your head down, and just do whatever Jameson says. A villain could attack the office, but this could happen anywhere in New York, and they're always gunning for Jameson. I could work here. I'm just gonna move out the way. Well, folks, this is about that time, and I got tagged in this one today, and it says, if you could have any one skill or item from regular show here, which would it be? First one out is cool bikes because they're just normal bikes they spray painted black to piss off Benson. All they did was lower the seat and then just added tinfoil to it. Next one that's definitely out is the Maximum Glove. Looks cool, but it does nothing. How do you win something that comes broke? Next is Playco Arm Boy because I could definitely see myself finessing a whole lot of people in arm wrestling. I mean, Playco Arm Boy is strong enough to overpower death. That's a really impressive thing, but outside of arm wrestling, it doesn't do anything. Next is the power of Death Kwon Do because yeah, I can use incredibly powerful moves, but who am I using this on? Unfortunately, I had to put the God of Basketball shoes second because of the fact that it gives you godlike powers, right? Allowing you to fly, have invulnerability, and super strength. None of that compares to the power keyboard, which allows you to do anything. It's a keyboard that allows you to warp reality just by making up a rhyme. You could tell someone to go to the moon and they would actually go there just because you were singing. Think I would pass that up? I'm definitely choosing the power. Well, folks, it's about that time, and I got tagged in this one today, and it says, you have to play devil's advocate for one of these characters or lose your right arm. Who are you choosing? Okay, I can do this, and I'm not just gonna do one, I'm gonna do everybody. Rigby's defense, Mordecai punches the dog shit out of him anytime he makes any good points. Somebody was punching me silly all day, I'd riz up their not girlfriend too. Mordecai has made Rigby the butt of the joke plenty of times. It was in his right to clown him on that shit too. Tara's defense, she was young, confused, and scared of her own power. She was manipulated and groomed by someone who could show her how to be in control. Hebe's defense, it's not her fault that the rest of these kingdoms are dumb as shit and she takes advantage of that. They just let her walk up in their houses and take their shit. I take advantage too. Eustace's defense, that is a dirty ass old blanket. She really made the new blanket for the damn dog. Patrick's defense, SpongeBob is annoying as shit. The whole city needs one day away from SpongeBob. That says more about him than Patrick. Brian's defense, while he was a douche, he was continuously messing up as his manager, and you can't do that, especially when he had a best-selling book. Well, folks, it's about that time, and I am convinced I could never be a spider person because having back problems seems like a canon event, and I can't have that. Talking about having middle back problems just from swinging, I guarantee that's not just it, because it seems like every villain is hell-bent on breaking Peter's spine in half. MCU Spider-Man power bomb through concrete. Peter's weakness must be his back, because this into the spine buster through 3 floors is insane work. Boy, I'm surprised Insomniac Peter can even walk, because they know to get his back. Just him fighting Venom in the house convinced me of that, because this man got slapped to the fridge and it fell on him. Then was thrown from his house full force into a bus. Then 5 minutes later was thrown into brick like this. Get out! If you thought Peter had it bad, Miles has it worse. Cause Rhino bounced past Miles, kicked him to his back, straight to the wall, then put him through it, all targeting his back. This wasn't to his back, but Finn was trying to break his spine. Like, Finn, please! Bro, this man should have died. Boy, number one strat, aim for the back. Well, folks, it's about that time, and I'm convinced that the god of One Piece must definitely hate Don Krieg. Don't get me wrong, he's definitely a notable villain in Luffy's story, but when I look at this man, all I see is a victim. Because only the devil himself will put this man on the same path as Mihawk the moment he got to the Grand Line. Because when we talk about the most disrespectful Mihawk moment, we always talk about his fight with Zoro when he pulled out a butter knife on him. Yes, this is some crazy shit right here, but I'm telling you, he did way more pettier stuff leading up to this. Think about it like this. Don Krieg went to the Grand Line with a fleet of over 50 ships. Mihawk took them all out by himself. He then chased these dudes down for weeks on their last ship from the Grand Line to the East Blue. He chased them so bad they didn't have time to eat. Going from the Grand Line to the East Blue, you gotta go through a calm belt, which is full of Sea Kings. So not only are they fighting against him, but they're trying to survive this. When this man finally caught up to them, he cut their whole ship in half with one swing. When they asked this man, why are you doing this? He just responds with, oh, I was bored. Straight evil work. Well, folks, it's about that time. I got tagged in this one today, and it says, in a 4-way free-for-all, which one of these villains will be the last one standing? First one out is definitely Spider-Man 3 Venom. And this guy has barely any solid feats, and most of his time was spent either sneaking or jumping Peter. This guy was literally taken out by one goblin bomb, so I don't believe that this would be too hard. Origin Sabretooth would definitely be out next. Throughout that movie, this man has all of 3 moves. He has pounce, stab, and throw. None of that shit would work on Green Goblin or Killmonger. Green Goblin is faster, stronger, and has plenty of gadgets to keep him away, plus the armor. Nothing Sabretooth has can pierce that vibranium on Killmonger's suit. And he can just straight up be knocked out. And his healing factor ain't saving him from being instantly incinerated. Green Goblin is definitely stronger than Killmonger, there's no question about that. Definitely has the advantage when it comes down to gadgets at his disposal. The main factor in this fight is that he doesn't have anything that can pierce that vibranium. Anything that hits that suit is just making it stronger and storing up energy. He has skills and superhuman strength on top of that. Won't be an easy fight, but I definitely give it to Killmonger. Well, folks, it's about that time. I got tagged in this one today. It says, which one do you think is the most evil Shredder here? Let me tell you something. I don't believe any Shredder here is more evil than Utron. I got all the evidence I need right here because he was just put on trial by my boy CJ the Champ. First of all, he's sending normal people out in the streets to go steal stuff for him, not knowing that they're about to get their asses beat by 5-foot turtles. When they fail because they got their ass whipped by mutants, he just straight up kills them. And we talked about this on this channel before, but there's nobody colder walking through fire than this man. Then you want to talk about evil. This man takes a body part from Baxter Stockman every time he fails. It may have started with him taking an eye or a hand. Boy, closer to the end of the series, this man was nothing but a head. It still kept him alive past that. Bro was nothing but a brain in a tube. When you find out he's an intergalactic alien criminal, it gets worse. He's been oppressing civilization for centuries. When they put this man on trial, his body count is crazy. This man got a body count into the millions. He was about to end the multiverse just because he hates the turtles. It's him. Well, folks, it's about that time, and I got tagged in this one today, and it says, who will win in a fight, Team Avatar or Teen Titans? Y'all tagged me in that post a lot, and the commenter himself had said that Team Avatar would win 7 times out of 10 against the Teen Titans, and to that I say, that's wild. Team Avatar have never seen something as dangerous as the Teen Titans. Please note that the Teen Titans have fought damn near everything under the sun. One of the most dangerous things in Avatar The Last Airbender is getting struck by lightning. Even deflecting it is a rare skill. Even as the Avatar, getting hit by lightning is a death sentence. Yeah, here's the Teen Titans fighting the living manifestation of lightning and thunder, casually dodging and taking hits from them. And this is just Tuesday. It's just a matter of how Team Avatar is going to lose, because what do they have to defend against something like this? And quite frankly, Raven's magic just solos the shit out of them, but just take your pick. Beast Boy does have forms that could literally just speed blitz the shit out of them. Starfire is stronger, faster, and they can't handle any attack she throwing out. No defense they're putting up is stopping that sonic cannon. I'm telling you that now. Titans are taking that easily to me. Well, folks, it's about that time, and I got tagged in this one today, and it says, for $10,000, you have to pick one of these to eat. Which one are you picking? Are we talking about eating the whole thing or a couple of bites? Because I need to know exactly how much I gotta get through. Either way, I don't give a damn, because the nasty patty is not an option. They made this shit, they were actively trying to kill this man. They actually dropped this sandwich in the toilet and then dried it off with his dirty gym sock, added toenails to it with horseradish. Oh nah, they were trifling with this. Next up is snail po, because I know this tastes like absolute dog shit. Gary is a bottom feeder that will damn near eat anything. Gary is willing to eat the ick. I know his snail food is scraped from the bottom of someone's car. I'm not dealing with it. I don't know what type of munchy SpongeBob was on this day when he made this quote-unquote sundae with nothing but ketchup, raw onions, basically moldy old dirt from his peanut plant. But this man is wildin'. I'm not eating anything that would have my breath kicking so bad buildings would run from me. This shit would devastate my stomach. I'd eat the synthetic patty. I've had McDonald's before. It's basically the same thing. I'm just not gonna look down. The 10K is mine. Well, folks, it's about that time, and if you could wake up as Batman, what is the first thing that you're doing? I wake up as Batman, we're going full on Iron Man because I'm making suits. This is how I know Bruce crazy, because he would rather throw hands in spandex and throw boomerangs rather than upgrade his arsenal. Man is out here fighting 7-foot crocodiles with just his fists. Like, what are we doing? But he only break out the Batbot when he get injured. I need this to be used more. Unless you got super strength, why are we out here risking throwing hands with Bane? He gotta have a special suit to fight Mr. Freeze anyway. You might as well just do this for all your villains. It'd be killing me. Batman will take an L, then he'll allocate funds to take on his enemies. If this was me, why would I not be always flying? Like, why are we choosing to do this the hard way? I don't care how badass I am. Why am I struggling when my proteges have more advanced suits than me? Take into account, Batman made Failsafe, an advanced robot that's skilled enough to solo the Justice League. It has programming that can counter everything he does or contingency plan he makes. If I can make a robot that can do that, I'm making this into a suit. What is crime then? Oh, we're going Batman Beyond in here. Well, folks, it's about that time. I got tagging this for today. It says, for $1 million, which one of these beverages would you drink? The first one out most definitely is a kelp shake. I'm not trying no drink that you describe tastes like ass and you have to keep drinking it for it to get better. And this shit is radioactive and it would take decades just to clean it up. And it does this shit to you? Yeah, you can keep that. Cool Cube Slushy is next because I don't want any drink that somebody got a handle like this. Man needs iron tongs just to pass me the cup. Said this has a glacier in it. I'm not trying to risk brain death for a drink. Mississippi Queen is soy sauce, mayo, kimchi, pasta sauce, and oysters. All that mixed with sushi, and it's supposed to be the hottest drink ever. Yeah, no, this is stomach devastation. What's crazy is that Rig Juice actually makes the Mississippi Queen look appetizing. He just throwing random shit in this. Why did your drink start boiling? Cactus Juice will have you tripping all day and night and won't quench your thirst. Babel Juice is what happens when a child tries to make Kool-Aid for the first time. You know it's gonna be a bunch of bullshit. Picking this because Minute Maid with toys in it ain't gonna kill me. Well, folks, it's about that time. I got tagging this for today, and it says, what's the best adaptation of Doc Ock here? Alfred Molina's Doc Ock will always be iconic. He will always be the best film adaptation of Doc Ock we will ever have. But Insomniac Spider-Man Otto Octavius is absolutely perfect. You can't help but to feel for this version of Otto because all he wanted to do was just help people. Every time he would make some type of progress, some bullshit happens to set him back. But he would get back to it because he knew the work was necessary to give people another chance. Because of his brilliance, Norman Osborn would hoe him at every turn just so he couldn't work independently. Even without funding, he still managed to make a remarkable breakthrough. Even after all the good he's trying to do, he was still gonna lose his limbs to a neurological disorder. He didn't even let that stop him. You can't help but to root for this man even though you know where this is going. This is someone who Peter worships and looks up to and even kept his secret. So it hurts to see his idol driven mad by revenge. That last conversation they had was more painful than the fight. I'd definitely give it to Insomniac. Well, folks, it's about that time, and I got tagged in this one today, and it says, who is the biggest menace in the Toy Story franchise? The person who tagged me in this said it's the monkey, but I'm telling you right now, look who's behind that monkey. Boy, Lotso ain't shit. This man will smile on your face and tell you that Sunnyside is such a great place to be. He'll spin you the tale of this is a paradise in that front room. He ain't gonna tell you shit about the back. The fact that you're about to get your ass whooped every day by these toddlers. It took him no time to flip the script on them. It had only been a few hours. And he locked them in immediately. He's so evil, he just took her mouth mid-sentence in front of her husband. There's a reason he running shit from a toy's perspective. He kinda big. And this man factory reset Buzz. That's actually really messed up. That's erasing his existence. Then force this man to turn on his family. Then imprison them himself while slowly turning him against them. And once you imprison, he'll get rid of anybody who tries to escape or won't cooperate. But they even helped him and he left them to die and smiled. It don't get worse than Lotso. Well, folks, it's about that time. I got tagged in this one today, and it says, in a villainous musical battle, who's coming out on top? We got a lot of heavy hitters here when it comes down to musical-based combat like the Scratch Man. His body is basically a living instrument. His main ability is to turn sound into attacks that can either blow up people or cut them. Basically has the power of onomatopoeia. He can say something like "Dawn" and it feels like you got punched. But at a distance, he's definitely a problem. Then there's Akira, who rocks out hard on his own, but when it comes down to it, his stand is the problem. His stand Red Hot Chili Pepper is fast and strong and can attack you anywhere there's power. And this stand is long range. Akira doesn't need to be anywhere near this fight. Chili Pepper would just get stronger with more energy around him. Ember is also here with her ghost powers and power of suggestion through her music. All that being said, the Music Meister would dominate. Music Meister's meta-human ability is that no matter who hears his voice, they cannot resist him. Ember wouldn't be able to hypnotize anyone, making her powerless. He doesn't need to be near you for his power to work. He can make all of them happily self-delete just by singing a verse. Music Meister got it. Well, folks, it's about that time. I got tagged in this one today. It says, for $1 million, who would you openly disrespect here? Well, you're smoking something if you want to antagonize any Powerpuff Girl. This is Buttercup we're talking about here. Say one wrong thing to her and she's ending your life. What is hold back to a Powerpuff Girl? Think I'm about to talk shit in any caliber to Bakugo. This man is willing to crash out on kids. This is a guy who throws explosions at his friends. What the hell do you think he's gonna do to me? This ain't no old shit. Bakugo still today is still overly confrontational. Boy, I am super good on disrespecting Nicole Watterson. Nicole's so scared scared you age 20 years just looking at her. I think I'm willing to talk shit to anybody who's willing to lock themselves in a place with something like this. Wrath continuously hurts his brothers for less. Why would I talk shit to this man in any capacity? Wrath was gonna stab a civilian just because he called his size salad tongs. Yeah, I'm not dealing with this man. See, I don't believe Jason's the type to absolutely just shoot somebody just because they disrespected him. Then again, the chance that he wouldn't do it ain't always zero. You can shit on Benson damn near all day. In fact, most people do. All he gonna do is yell, "That money is mine."